To make matters worse, drivers continue to park on both sides of the street. As a result, these barricades have been put in place to limit the parking and not allow for poor visibility.
Premier Christy Clark's investment in the liquefied natural gas sector and the jobs plan has BCIT students extremely excited that they will be still using the fundamental equipment, this, which is what they've always used, but will be moving over to electronic with the nuts and bolts of the machinery. This may look like ordinary bread, but it's not. In the Mexican tradition, when they celebrate the Day of the Dead, bread is a very special part of the celebration. It's made of corn, and it represents renewal of life.
More about Occupy Vancouver, we're joined live by Sharma.
Well, Amanda, it makes sense that the protest began in New York with Occupy Wall Street, and from there spread to hundreds of cities around the world. But you might ask why a city like Vancouver would be part of a protest attacking corporate greed. After all, Vancouver has been ranked as the world's most livable city. The Occupy Vancouver protest began with about 4,000 and now has only a couple hundred. Those that are still there have said they will continue to camp out at the art gallery, so it's just a matter of time before we find out whether the protesters will continue. Back to you. And welcome to Eye on Health. Multiple sclerosis is a disease affecting thousands in Canada. A new controversial treatment called CCSVI has been shown to have promising results for MS patients. However, this treatment is not offered in Canada. MS patients and their families want that to change. Carmen Weld has their story. Imagine needing a stem cell to save your life. Many of BC's ethnic population struggles with finding a match. Over 80% of donors are Caucasian, and that leaves those in the ethnic community at a risk. But as Nagar Moshahedi finds out, there are deep social stigmas associated with giving blood. She also shows you the miracle. Sometimes, some of us may take trees for granted. But what about a city that is clearing trees? A Burnaby woman advocates for a stronger tree bylaw.
The house on our corner was sold, and I heard from the neighbors that it was going to be torn down. So I knew a little bit at that time about the tree bylaws, and I was aware that if you purchased a property and you took the trees down, then you'd wait 3 months for a building permit. So that was the loophole.
Friend Heather Duff heard what Donna Palis was doing and joined the initiative.
Two beautiful trees that were over 100 years old, and they were taken down, and it was right in the corner, so I don't see why they were taken down. And when we phoned the city and said about it, they said, oh, it didn't fit in with his plans.
I contacted the tree line, but was only bounced around. Only stumps are left after the clearing of fir trees. More trees were removed in front of a heritage home, and a new house was built instead. Neighbor Neil Mackay is unhappy with the scenery.
The tree has a little history for us, because at a certain point after the owner bought the property, he was having a tree faller come with a chipper and everything, and they were busy on the tree, and they cut about 5 branches off the lower part of the tree, which has left it looking rather ugly.
Donna Palis presented a petition with 500 signatures to encourage council to update the bylaw. Burnaby Council approved a timeline early October for a tree bylaw review, with final decision-making in fall 2012. Sharma in Burnaby for BCIT Magazine. It's not sports day with cones laid down on a school crosswalk. Instead, this is the daily routine for parents at Kitchener Elementary, signaling the drivers to slow down.
We have a parent who comes out every morning about 8:15 to 8:30 and sets them up. We line Gilmore on both sides and we line the crosswalk.
Children have also joined this initiative, acting as patrol guards. Despite parents' efforts, the erratic driving behavior continues in the school zone. Bylaw Officer David Kilpatrick makes rounds at the school frequently.
Convenience needs to come secondary to safety. And in many cases, when people are under stress, they tend to put their own convenience first.
To make matters worse, drivers continue to park on both sides of the street. As a result, these barricades have been put in place to limit the parking and not allow for poor visibility.
A walk with the parents allows the kids a quick lesson on traffic safety, but at times there have been close calls that have sparked more concern for improvement.
I had to quickly pull her back, yeah, because this car just went straight through, and yeah, it was quite close. My wife was corresponding with one of the engineers. I believe his name was Doug Louie or something, and I think he laid out some options, but it's basically they're reluctant to do anything.
The city of Burnaby refuses to set a precedence for better crosswalk signage.
If they gave us a nice crosswalk, they'd have to do that for all the schools.
At the end of the day, safety around the school has not only been a struggle for the parents, but has also become a waiting game. Sharma in Burnaby for BCIT Magazine. Today on BCIT Magazine. An app that increases your access to healthcare. A local organization plays Cupid for Valentine's Day. And road safety at Kitchener Elementary. Good afternoon and welcome to BCIT Magazine. I'm Sharma. The BC government is providing healthcare users greater access to the medical system. Michael Popove has more. A local elementary school is worried about dangerous drivers. I caught up with the concerned parents earlier this week. BC Lions receiver Paris Jackson signed a one-year extension. As Dustin Forbes tells us, both sides are excited to get the deal done. If you have any questions or comments regarding this program, please visit us online at bcitbroadcastnews.ca or bcit-broadcast.com. I'm Sharma, and that's today's BCIT Magazine. Thanks for watching. We leave you now with Penticton V's record-breaking 30th straight BCHL win.